A big issue in our today's society is the lack of sexual education in schools. Some of us know what sexual education is and what the consequences of its presence or absence are, but some of us don't. So, what is sexual education? Sexual education represents the instruction on issues relating to human sexuality, including emotional relations and responsibilities, human sexual anatomy, sexual activity, sexual reproduction, age of consent, reproductive health, reproductive rights, safe sex, birth control, and sexual abstinence. In general, sexual education is something that our parents should provide us with, but the misinformation and the hesitation seem to make them pass this task to the school. The lack of sexual education can have very real and very serious consequences as teenage pregnancy, abortion, sexually transmitted diseases, sexual assaults, unplanned parenthood, and homophobia. Currently, in most countries in the European Union, sexual education is mandatory in schools. However, in Romania, sexual education is not mandatory. A study realized by the Society of Contraceptive and Sexual Education places Romania after the UK on the second place in Europe in terms of teenage births. Annually, 47,000 teenagers get pregnant, of whom 29,000 keep the child and 18,000 get an abortion. Romania occupies the first place in the European Union when it comes to abortions. In Europe, a baby dies of abortion every 11 seconds, but in Romania only, every 30 seconds an abortion occurs. 1/4 of the Romanian women do not address to the gynecologist unless they feel various negative symptoms or suspect pregnancy, and over 20% do not attend annual pelvic examinations. Romania occupies the first place in the European Union when it comes to domestic violence. Numbers show that every 30 seconds there is a physical aggression on a woman. 3 out of 10 women have been physically or mentally assaulted from an early age, and those are only the official numbers. 1 million Romanians suffer from a sexually transmitted infection, and almost 2 out of 10 young people think that a person does not have a sexually transmitted disease unless they have any visible symptoms. A UNICEF study places Romania on the first place in Europe when it comes to child abandonment. But what would the consequences of sexual education be? Introducing sexual education in schools will encourage children, teenagers, and not only to communicate about sexuality and sexual health, learning to freely discuss contraception and condoms, as well as activities they're not ready for, protects young people's health. Delay sex until ready. Abstinence is the only 100% effective method of preventing HIV, STDs, and unintended pregnancy, and it's a valid choice which everyone has the right to make. Understanding healthy and unhealthy relationships. Maintaining a healthy relationship requires skills many young people are never taught, like positive communication, conflict management, and negotiating decisions around sexual activity. Understand, value, and feel autonomy over our bodies. It teaches young people that they have the right to decide what behaviors they engage in and to say no to unwanted sexual activity. It also helps them to examine the forces that contribute to a positive or negative body image. Respect others' right to bodily autonomy. It teaches young people what constitutes sexual violence, that sexual violence is wrong, and how to find help if they have been assaulted. Show dignity and respect for all people, regardless of sexual orientation or gender identity. Isn't now clear enough that Romanian schools need sexual education?
Created using Powtoon.